Okay, so I'm back here, and then we were just looking over at the map beds. This is part 2. I've split them because it's probably going to be too big. And here we go, up against the wood shed. And I hope I get this right. This is our auricular theatre. So look it up. It's beautiful, and a lot of succulents in there. So it's a nice little filler for an area that's normally quite bland. So I'm going to walk around now and have a look at the bandstand and the top of the garden from here. And as you can see, the hydrangeas are absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so round to the side garden now. I shall pan round here. And as you can see, so many things now are out in flower. And it's slowly covering up the wood store with all the flowers. But yeah, everything is just come to life. Still some things to come out. Jeanette has planted it, so we get flowers throughout the summer. And things like the magic hollyhocks or hollyoaks, not quite there yet, but they'll be out in 3 or 4 weeks, and we'll have a big run of colour from there. So pan round, and I will take a walk across, because I'm going to take a walk and have a look at the mop heads a bit closer. And this is Jeanette's greenhouse. I won't go in there, but as you can see, it looks all very green in the greenhouse, and that's because, I don't know if you can see, oh, I'll go around the corner. There are stacks of tomatoes. We're going to be well supplied with tomatoes. So tomatoes are doing really well. We've got some already indoors. I can see some red ones there ready for picking. And Jeanette's little cuttings bay here. A little mini greenhouse, which hopefully we've bolted down enough, and we've bolted to the wall as well so it doesn't blow away. Okay, this we give a haircut. And we're encouraging this to flower lots next year. So next year that should be stunning. It wasn't so good this year, and it's because we didn't cut it back. So that should grow. Okay, so there are the mop heads and the boat. And as you can see, absolutely stunning. They are beautiful, and they just keep going. I'll have to take a few shots if they last this year till Christmas, because we've across in the hydrangea grove, not so much here, we've had hydrangeas still flowering at Christmas. Okay, and here's the area that used to be the horrible pampas grass. Let's go back a little bit from this so you get a view of it. And as you can see, that's got lots and lots of different plants in, and that's really filling the area up beautifully. And the border now filling up with dogwood and some lace caps and some mop heads, hydrangeas, and the fuchsia, and that lovely, lovely yellow flower that flowers. And sorry, I can't remember the name, but it flowers all year long. It doesn't stop. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. So I shall walk past the washing. And yes, I've got to trim this privet. It's gone a bit out of control. But just to show you up close, these mop heads down here. I mean, they're, I don't know, 7 foot tall. They are just absolutely massive. And lace caps next to it, and then a bit of greenery. Everything's very Jurassic in this area, and then beautiful mop heads on the end there. Hello Angus. That's Angus, next door neighbour's dog. Okay, so I'll go along now in front of the garage. And I don't know if I walked in the garage before, but as you can see, lots of flowers along here. Oh, some beautiful flowers. The roses have done really well. And of course the gorgeous smell as you walk past. And we've got honeysuckle dotted around as well, that's nice. As you can see, lots of different flowers. a quick look in the garage, because I'm not sure if I come in here last time. I mean, it is a bit messy, right? I'm slowly getting organised with it. As you can see, it could be a bungalow, really. It's so big, such a massive area. I mean, this is just the main area of it. You see all our tools up there. And then it's got another room at the back here, which I've got a lot of stuff that's still not unpacked yet. And the roof space, sorry about the metal work, but yep, it's got a lot of metal work up in there. And my astronomy stuff, which still hasn't been unpacked yet. And do you like the idea of the yellow boots on the metal work there? You probably guess why I've got yellow boots popped on very hard pieces of metal at a certain height. It's just to let me know that there's a piece of metal there. Okay, so we're now in the car park area, and I'm going to take a little walk along the wall, because it's just filled with herbs. Absolutely beautiful. Lots of different types of mint we've got in there. We've got a few different types of parsley in there, which has now gone to seed, so we'll be collecting the seeds for next year. Some geraniums in there. A huge buddleia, and I don't know if you can see the bumblebee hanging on there, getting a good feast. And yeah, it's just, well, all this is Jeanette's hard work, clearing it all down and getting it all planted up, and you've just got to keep on top of it. It's a constant battle. And here's my little experiment. You can probably see the sweet peas in with that. The sweet peas aren't mine, but the buddleia is. And what I'm doing, I'm creating a buddleia arch. And it's actually working, surprisingly. I did have my doubts at the beginning of the year, because I kept on snapping it, but now it's started to come together. So hopefully next year that'll just be all intertwined with buddleia and lovely blue flowers and lots of butterflies about. Okay, so we're in the orchard. Not a lot different in the main area of the orchard. The trees just get such a battering from the east and from the southwest, because we've lost the line of trees along in the hydrangea grove. The wind just whistles up through here. Okay, so I'm gonna probably not say an awful lot and just walk along the flower border, and yeah, lupins are beautiful. I'm so glad we've got some lupins that survived the last winds. We had some beautiful lupins come in, they all got snapped off. We've just got to get used to it now, having gales in the summertime. It's a beautiful yellow flower again. We've got some cuttings of this. We want to put it along the borders because it is so nice, and it's such a big filler as well. It grows relatively fast. Okay, a rowan berry tree with some ripe rowan berries on. Let's go and zoom in. And there we go. Now, if we were still into our wine making, everyone guess what type of wine we'd be making. Very nice. They're just stunning. And the weeping willow, and this is an area where we regularly sit. If I step back, that's our homemade bench, or my homemade bench. Probably Jeanette doesn't really want to be part of that, but I decided to make and this one's for you, Mum. Remember the old rotten bench you had, and the 2 bits of black metal, and I got a load of alley tubing, and I bolted it all together with alley tubing, so it's a metal bench, and the only piece of wood that's on it is the one that was left that was treatable, not too rotten. The rest of it was all rotten through. But yeah, I was really pleased with that. I know it's a bit weird, but it's a bit of modern art, I'd say. There's the one of the willows. We're letting grow a bit wild because we're going to be taking cuttings and putting some of this down at the paddock. And the lovely grasses in here. I mean, all the little shaded areas. And this is, I think, the big thing. We're starting to find out now what grows where. I mean, this is underwater in the winter, so hence the lots of little willows put in. to try and get their roots to suck up the moisture, but putting plants in that enjoy damp conditions like hydrangeas. And yeah, this is all coming on nicely right in the corner. This is where I had a huge antenna up, but it fell down in the winds in the winter. So I don't think I could get an antenna up here now because it's full of flowers. And here's our lovely steps. So this is our steps across. I might just go up here, just see what the view's like going back over to the fairy garden. Yeah, it is just beautiful. Ignore the motorhome there. Just looking out across the top of the hydrangea groves. I'm quite high up here. Looking back across now, across the orchard. Okay, I'm coming down. Whoops, hopefully not in a hurry. Okay, so I'm going to go to the centre part now. Centre part of the orchard. We've got lots of plants growing in here, so climbers, clematis, and also the apple tree in the middle there, and some lovely succulents. And this is really coming on well. The clematis are absolutely beautiful, and it's climbing all by itself. It's going to climb its way up around the apple tree. We're not sure with this apple tree whether it's going to survive much longer. It's had a hard life, as you can see. I'm surprised it's alive at all. All of the trees in here have been flattened, even the ones that we've put in. I mean, this one, there we go. So that's at a huge angle. And then we've got a cherry tree there. That's at an angle. Everything's just at an angle, and that's because, sadly, the wind has got the better of them. Okay, so, I've just spotted a robin. Not sure if it's our old friendly robin. Right, yes, it definitely was a robin anyway. I shall save the bit on the side of the house for the next video. This is just walking around the front garden now. So I'll just take a tour around the front. And this is around one of the trees, and there's grasses and cosmos in there. And oh God, I wouldn't mind having cosmos absolutely everywhere. They are beautiful flowers, and they really do feel like summer. And some daisies in there as well, and the other flowers here. And these are still, well, they're starting to flower. These just do incredibly well. They're like Michaelmas daisies. And there's the other rowan tree. This rowan tree hasn't done as well as the other one, and I think probably it's just in a slightly windier condition, windier position, and all the edges of the trees are burnt. Okay. Just going along the wall, just so you can have a look at the wall from this side. And again, lots of things growing up on the wall. And here's the front, which is starting to fill in. I mean, that's an absolutely massive dogwood, and we moved it from in the garden, and it didn't even notice it had been moved. It just carried on growing, which was really good. So what we're trying to do, as I said earlier in the video, on all the borders to the lane, trying to put a mixed border in with flowers, with some shrubs, some trees, and not just all hawthorn, because it's just horrible stuff, hawthorn. We've left some hawthorn in, but not too much, so it's a mixed border now. Here's the boat. I think I might have missed the other boat, but this one's beautiful. Okay, so looking back across the front garden, and I'm just heading towards the pond now, and we hopefully now of all the pod poles, all the tadpoles have turned into frogs and should have hopped it, so we can clear all the weed out now and unblock the pond pump. Yeah, there we go again, fuchsias growing up in the grasses, and we've got some red hot pokers coming up. Yeah, we haven't had such a good year this year with red hot pokers, but that's going to be a nice one. Last year was absolutely stunning. They were massive, and they really do look like pokers. And as you can see, all Jeanette's ducklings, and we've got some lights dotted around as well, just to make the wildlife jump a bit when it comes and has a drink at night. And again, around the trees, Jeanette's filling all these in with plants as well now. Oh, it's a massive task, as you can imagine, with over 2 acres of gardens and 2.5 acres in total. It's just, we live and breathe it. And this is the edge against the lane again, and as you see, we've put buddleia in there as well. A real mix, some sycamore, and here's Jeanette's secret garden that was at the front of the house that was totally overgrown. We've actually got a parking bay there now, and I've cleared that recently because it all got overgrown again. And yeah, the plants in here, Jeanette's filled it up, and there's hardly any weeds. It's just jam-packed with plants, absolutely jam-packed. I'll just go along the here. Here's my next job next weekend. Kindly David next door, he streamed it last time, but it's my turn this time. And yeah, it's a good 150 feet plus. It's 200 foot plus of strimming to do, so that's a job you put a day aside for. Okay, here's a gunner at the front. We put, I don't know, a few thousand gallons of water on this earlier this year, and wow, has it worked. And we've mulched it as well. I don't know if you can see into the middle. We've absolutely mulched it with grass cuttings, and it's looking a little tatty now, but the leaves, and the leaves are as big as me, a couple of them. They're absolutely huge. Quite stunning. Okay, so little hydrangeas that surprisingly have flowered in this area. We didn't know whether they do very well on the edge of the garden. And this is where all the water came from in there. There's one of the old huge water pits, cess pits, but we disinfected it all, and it fills up with water, and then we use it for water in the gunner and the front garden. We've got a pump that goes down in there. Okay, so even this front is doing so well. Just flowers absolutely everywhere. And there's the border again. The hedge now is nearly complete. Just got to fill it in a few places. We had a few things die, but it's not too bad. And here's the, I suppose, the Isle of Wight College Bay. And as you can see, everything is just bristling with life. And I won't go up into the corner because we're working on that at the moment, so I'll save that for the next video. But as you can see, and our lovely monkey puzzle tree, off it goes. It takes a long time to grow, but it's really exciting when it shoots out some new branches. Okay, so another hydrangea just up there, you can see that. And this is the area that's covered in crocosmia, and Jeanette has cleared it all and put bark chippings on it and started to plant it up now. So this next year will start to look much better. But yeah, it's just been patient. I'm not the most patient person in the world, but with gardens you really have to be patient. Okay, so right down to the corner, and this is my palm. right down in the corner, that's going to grow up. So a palm tree here, right in the corner, hopefully. We had a disaster with this in the back garden. It just doesn't like the easterly winds, so we thought if we put it here, when it gets up to a reasonable size, it'll have the southwesterly winds battering it, which doesn't mind the warm wind. It's the cold wind it doesn't like. As you can see, lots of different plants here. This is the edge of our land, and goat willow. There's a few different types of willow. We're just filling it all in the front with whatever we can lay our hands on, really, and it all does go very well. All blends in nicely. I don't know about the bamboo though. I'm a bit concerned about the bamboo, because bamboo, anybody who's had bamboo in their garden knows exactly why I'm a bit concerned about bamboo. Okay, so slowly a walk up. Some of the, I won't dwell on that, but some things just don't like being battered by the wind. And there, just a view, pan round. And I look down towards the road and the garage, and that's where I'll stop. Thank you.